This is an antibiotic sensitivity report that would worry any clinician. A few years ago, a report like this was rare. Today, finding bacteria resistant to nearly every available antibiotic is becoming increasingly common across the world. Antibiotic resistance is spreading at an alarming pace. If we fail to act, reports like these may soon become the new normal. But how did we get here? Did this happen overnight? Of course not. To understand how antibiotic resistance develops, we need to travel back in time to a time when caring for livestock relied largely on experience, tradition, and knowledge passed down through generations. In those days, many farmers relied largely on experience, traditional knowledge, and advice shared within their communities. Verifying every claim wasn't always possible. At the same time, meeting market demand was a constant challenge. Their livelihood depended on keeping their livestock healthy and productive. Among the practices adopted in some settings was the use of antibiotics in apparently healthy animals, not only to prevent disease within the herd or flock, but also in the belief that this could improve growth before the animals were sold. To the farmer, this little yellow powder promised peace of mind. For a while, everything seemed well, but there was something the farmer couldn't see. Deep inside the animal, the antibiotic had begun to change the balance of life. Millions of bacteria were exposed. Many died, but the few that survived would shape the future. And the story didn't end there. Traces of antibiotic remained, leaving the animal through its products and through its waste. While cattle were being exposed to antibiotics, a much larger story was unfolding in the poultry industry. Here, lakhs of birds were raised together in massive sheds, creating an entirely different scale of animal production. In a flock of this size, a few sick birds were almost unavoidable. But to the farmer, these few birds threatened everything. Once an infection entered the flock, it could spread with astonishing speed. To stay ahead of the disease, antibiotics were sometimes administered to the entire flock. Once mixed with drinking water, the antibiotic traveled through the pipes, and with every sip, it entered the birds' bodies. Whether every bird needed it or not, they were all exposed. The antibiotic reached different tissues, exposing bacteria throughout the body to its presence. Not all of the antibiotic was eliminated immediately. Small amounts could remain for a period of time before being broken down or excreted. One silent pathway was often overlooked. Wastewater carrying traces of antibiotics flowed into the nearby streams and rivers, quietly exposing the environment to these drugs. The story was no longer confined to the farm. Antibiotic resistance doesn't recognize farm boundaries. The journey didn't end at the farm. Animal products made their way to supermarket shelves, carrying with them a story that few could see. The products reached countless families. No one knew the journey they had taken. The invisible consequence had already begun. The meal was over, but inside the intestine, the story had just begun. The antibiotic placed millions of bacteria under pressure. The susceptible disappeared, the resistant remained. With less competition, they multiplied. And this is where the journey ends. Resistant bacteria prevail. Our best defense is responsible antibiotic stewardship through One Health.